Okay, wait a few moments. See if people join in. If you are on Twitter or Periscope, you probably heard the subject, but I recorded a video for this, but I said, screw it. I'll just go live for like an hour. Kind of talk about it. My Venetian blinds are like swinging back and forth, so you see like rays of light kind of cutting me here. So, in opening, Sneed was on my scope on Twitter, and I did talk to him about if he was okay if we did, I think like in the month of March, we raced him to 10,000 subscribers. And what I was going to do was initially probably buy a device and give that for a giveaway. I don't know what type of device yet, or what the price is going to be. I'm going to work that out, and eventually if me and Sneed are like, yeah, this is going to be dope, then we'll officially announce a giveaway for a race to 10,000 to get him to 10,000 subscribers, because yeah, I want to get him to that point. Carlos is doing a giveaway. If you guys don't remember, he's doing a giveaway. He's doing a giveaway. He's giving away an iPhone XS Max, I think, when he gets to 200 subscribers, and he's doing various giveaways. From what I understand from his video, at 200 he's giving away a device. At 500 he's giving away another device, and then at 1,000 he's giving away another device. So before I jump into the whole sprint thing, peeps out there, seriously, Carlos is a really good dude. Okay. I firmly back his channel and just him as a person. I mean, he's got a really big heart. I'll tell you guys that right now. I'm co-signing, I'm validating, whatever you guys want to call it. And you know what? Like, his videos, his things that he does, like, Sneed said yesterday in his live stream, which I agree with, he is showing you this to help you guys in your decision making of which carrier you guys decide to go to. I mean, tax time is right around the corner, right? Everyone's gonna be getting their W-2s at the end of this month. They're gonna be filing your taxes, and those people who are gonna be getting back a substantial amount of money from the IRS. One thing that people normally do is they upgrade to a new phone that they've wanted, and that also does kind of come with them changing to a different provider. Carlos basically shows you speed tests and things like that, so you guys have an idea. Whoever's in the live stream, let me know if you can hear me. Last time I did a live stream, someone told me that there was no sound, so actually I could just check myself. I'm checking myself here, so hang on. Okay, there is sound. Oh, hey, C Butler, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming in here. Let me. Oh, hey, C Butler, what's going on? There, here. I'm gonna have this up for the chat so I can see the chat. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed to Carlos, please do so. I'll link his channel in my description so you can check it out. I know it's like early morning and I rarely live stream, so anyone that catches the replay, thanks for watching the replay. All right, so let me prop this up here so I can see the, there we go. Perfect. All right. Well, anyways, so I did a live stream on Periscope of a topic, something that I kind of wanted to explain about with Sprint. I've made a mini series called Sprint Insight, which initially what my goal was, because two things. One, I genuinely care about people. As the reason why I worked for Sprint Retention was because I felt like, the fact that I care about people would be a good asset for me to work for that company, and it did. With that skill set alone allowed me to promote up to a floor supervisor to be able to tackle on more responsibilities. But also I was pissed off at Sprint, which is why I made that mini series. I wanted people to understand, because Sprint was so fragmented. So the purpose of this topic in this live stream is for those people who feel like that Sprint can bounce back like T-Mobile did. This is to like tell you guys the reasons why they can't bounce back, why the absorption of Sprint assets should go to T-Mobile. Sprint as itself should be dead, killed off, and bring in a fourth carrier. I mean, because like this is the topic that a lot of people are really focused on. They're really, they want to know where Boost Mobile is really going to go. They want to know if Dish is going to be good. Oscar, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate that. They were CDMA. Here's the thing about it: CDMA and GSM is a fading system. Okay, most companies are reverting to LTE, so it really at this point is not really going to matter. Like when I was talking about my T-Mobile locked iPhone 7, I had totally forgot that CDMA and GSM is a fading system. It's a system that's going to be completely phased out. LTE is going to be it. So when I was saying that I couldn't put my visible SIM card in the iPhone 7, I actually could because visible only runs on LTE. They don't connect to 3G or 2G, so they don't utilize CDMA or GSM for that fact. Even though LTE, in a way, kind of like, if I remember correctly, it kind of relies on GSM, sort of in a way, or kind of like it, but I don't know. Maybe the guru himself, Sneed, can actually explain that in the comments. I would appreciate that. I turned down a job working for Sprint. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a good fit. Sprint is so fragmented between their care reps by phone, their sales rep by phone, their account services, which was the department I worked for, and then their store reps. Some store reps were good. Not all of them were good. Some of them were really really shady. I mean, if I can explain to you guys, because I had a friend of mine who worked in the same call center that I did, and then he was offered a job at a Sprint store as a sales rep. He took the job and he went over there, and he and I stayed in contact, and he told me they didn't train him on jack. They didn't train him on anything. They literally trained him for 3 days, but in that training, all it was how to make a sale, right? And then the only phones that they were really giving him any info on was the top flagships being sold at that current time. Anything else, he wasn't shown, he wasn't talked to. Isaac, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in. It would be good morning here. It's it's still morning. It's 11:12 a.m. But yeah, they wouldn't train them on anything else. So all they were trained on was make sales. So the idea of making sales was tell the customer what they wanted to hear to make that sale. That was a very bad move, right? And it put a lot of stress on customer care reps. It put a lot of stress on account service reps because when they weren't getting what they wanted, they would call in and be pissed. Sneed, what's up, man? He's here. He was on the scope with me earlier. See? Stupid.
What would you like to know about Xavier Lastra?
No, I wouldn't like to know anything about him. Stop. Shut up. That's not very nice, she said. That's funny. But yeah, they're so fragmented. That's probably one of the biggest things. But their promo plans was a big sinker, a big killer. No, that's Siri, bro. That wasn't Google Assistant. That was Siri. You like the old CEO before this one? I don't know about that, honestly. When it comes to Sprint, I think every CEO they had was blinded. What do I think about the iPhone 7? And do you think we can unlock it for another carrier? You could unlock an iPhone 7 for another carrier. It just depends on where you got the iPhone from. If you got it from say you got it from Straight Talk or whatever, then you would have to you would have to literally complete their terms of service for them unlocking the phone. Yeah, Siri's feelings was hurt. I said that wasn't very nice. I told her to shut up. For Boost Mobile's unlocking terms of services that you have to have active service on that device for a whole year. So if you get the iPhone 7 from Boost, I would definitely suggest never to swap a device in 365 days, because if you do that, that restarts the timer. I've done that. I've literally got pissed off with them trying to unlock a device that I knew that was global compatible, and they wouldn't do it because when I was reviewing Boost Mobile phones, I kept flipping devices around, so I kept resetting that 1 year timer, and they would never unlock it. So you have to keep the phone active on Boost for an entire year, basically. Now there are other sources of doing that, but then again, I mean, those are pretty sketchy and pretty expensive. One thing's for sure, you see these ads or these videos talking about this RSIM chip, which overlays on top of your, the SIM that you're going to use, bypasses the lock and allows network connection to the iPhone 7. That depends on the iOS version you have, and it can completely become obsolete within a year, and then your phone will relock. I wouldn't go that route. If you have the money to spend for a company to try and unlock your phone, you could go that route, because I believe the iPhone 7's unlock capability is completely different. It's not a code that you punch in when you put a SIM card in it. They actually send a signal to unlock the iPhone 7, and then when you connect it to iTunes, it will unlock when you go through the unlock process. It's really weird how they did it for the iPhone 7 compared to other iPhones. Let's see. GSM only. Oh yeah. Sneed, if you can, real quick in the comments, just kind of explain LTE, because if I remember correctly, those people say that the LTE was built off the structure of GSM. I could be definitely wrong, and I don't want to give out wrong info, and you know more about this than I do, so if you want to kind of explain that. Because I was explaining that CDMA is phased out, right? LTE is going to be it. They're phasing out 3G basically, so it's going to be LTE and then 5G going forward now. But yeah, Sprint, it's not relevant. Sprint is so bad. Like I was saying in the beginning of my scope on Periscope, should have unlocked my LG Vault that I had. I mean, you could try, but the LG Vault, man. Oh, the LG Vault will always hold a special place in my heart because of the fact that it was a smaller phone. Yes, it had a smaller, it had a more weaker resolution display, but I mean, it had a badass battery. It was like, at the time, 3,000 milliamps. It was huge. So you got really good battery life, NFC, all that good stuff. LTE is a completely different protocol and standard than all legacy network technology. There you go. Okay. So then some people were positioning LTE wrong. It's not built on top of GSM or anything like that. It's standalone. All right. So as I mentioned in the scope that I did, was that the promotional plans, right? This is kind of like a takeoff of Sneed's video, or not video, but live stream yesterday with Carlos. If you guys didn't see that, go watch the replay. But they were talking about, how Sprint really damaged themselves with like giving away free service and free lines and things like that. And a little bit more in-depth insight with Sprint and their stupidity when it came to the Unlimited Freedom promo. You guys remember the 5 lines for 100, right? And I'll tell you guys right now, there were, from what I remember, there were 3 different versions of that promo plan that ran with each other at the same time, okay? So there was 5 lines for 100, first line for 55, second line for 45, lines 3 to 5 free. Second version, 50, 50, 3 to 5 is free. Third option, 25, 25, 25, 25, free. Now, you can imagine we're trying to spin it, talking to customers, telling them like no matter what, it's 5 lines for 100. But say you have 2 customers who live next door to each other. They both got Sprint. Say one of them referred the other one to Sprint. So he comes to his friend and he says, yeah, I got 5 lines for 100 too. Okay, they compare their bill. One guy is paying 25 for 4 lines and the 5th line is free. The other guy is paying 55, 45, lines 3 to 5 is 0. I kid you guys not. That person who's paying the 25 per line for 4 lines and then the 5th line is free will call in, will complain, will yell at us, and will want lines 3 to 5 free. He doesn't care that they're both paying $100 for 5 lines. He wants lines 3 to 5 free. That has happened. Okay, I have gotten into a 1 hour and 45-minute phone call, an argument based on things like that, where you're like trying to tell them like, hey, what you're suggesting is that I make your bill 5 lines for $50, or that, yeah, that's not cool. Because if you're paying 25 for 4 lines and the 5th line is free, if you take out charging lines 3 and 4, they're only paying $50. But these promotions ran together. They ran together, and people were constantly complaining about it. People would call in and literally talk my ear off until my ears would almost bleed. I mean, it's customers, right? Like, the way that I see it, and maybe you guys might call me stupid for this, right? But the customer doesn't know everything, right? And when they see something like that and they're angry, and all humans go through this, when you're angry, you don't think logically, you think emotionally. So your emotional thinking is taking over. So emotionally, you're thinking that you're being unfairly charged, when really you're thinking about it, you're getting the exact same thing. It's just the structure is different. Customers do not know much. Exactly. So I can't fault the customer for even having what I would consider to be an ignorant point of view. I can't. Because right now, at that point, when they're mad, they're not thinking clearly. Tell me when you're upset, when you're really aggravated, pissed off, can you like really think logically in that moment? Say like an argument with your girlfriend or your wife. You know, you end up saying things that you don't mean, but that's just because your emotions has taken over. You're no longer thinking logically. Your emotions are taking over. They hurt you, you want to hurt them back. So even though you shouldn't say anything that has nothing to do with the argument, you end up saying it because you just want to get points, right? That's how the customer's thinking at that point. So they're not really thinking of, hey, I'm trying to, I want things fair. So when you explain that it is being fair, yeah, it hurts. So then they feel like that they're being cheated, and then they want their account number and their PIN number, and they want to port. That was probably one of the biggest dumb things that Sprint ever did, was running the same promotion in 3 different configurations at the exact same time. Okay, the free lines literally hurt Sprint. Put a hole, like I was saying in my live stream on Twitter, I referenced Sprint as the Titanic. Okay, at this point, all the decisions that they've made, business practices that they made, all the negativity built this big iceberg in their way, and they ran right into it for all the dumbness that they did, and it punched holes in the side of the vessel. Now, one of the things about it that I kind of use as an analogy was that the Titanic, this infrastructure was not built correctly, right? It was weak. It was a weak foundation. So, being in sub-freezing temperatures, which is where they put themselves in, hitting an iceberg, which was all their stupidity that they balled up into one giant iceberg, the ship was frail to begin with. Punching holes in it pretty much, it just started sinking the ship. So now here comes T-Mobile in. T-Mobile wants that 2.5 gigahertz signal. They want that band. And so the Titanic breaks into 2 pieces, right? The bow falls and sinks, and T-Mobile's trying to absorb the stern, which is basically the spectrum that Sprint has. And the mid band is what they're trying to grab, which will then, conjunction with their low band, kind of give them a better footing. That's all they want. So, like, I guess I would say, like, when it comes to the merger, I would say the T-Mobile is absorbing Sprint, not really merging with them, because they're not wanting any of, the rest of the stuff that comes with Sprint. Their bad practices, some of their stupid employees and things like that. I hate to say it. Whatever. If YouTube counts this as a bad video, whatever. I'm going all out today. Sprint has done some very stupid things, and the whole free line things was dumb. One of the things that I made very apparent was that customers don't check their bills line by line, right? So like when a customer comes in and they get the year of service for free, but they'll pick like, very outlandish phones, right? Phones that they have to lease that cost them like $30 a month. And then that's 30 by 5, right? So they're going to have a bill close to $200, or a little bit over $200. They call and they get pissed off. You explain that's just for the device charges. That's not even your plan. You're good. You're on that 1-year plan. So they get comfortable paying, like $200. Don't mind my son. He's tossing and turning. But they get comfortable paying $200, right? And then that year goes up. And then they're automatically put on the unlimited freedom plan, not the promos, the unlimited, the 65 for first line, 45 for second, and then lines 3 to 5 is 35 each. They get put on that plan. Now they're going to get a bill close to like $700 because of their price plan, the amount of lines they have, and then the devices they have. And yeah, I can sit there and tell the customer, oh yeah, we warned you 2 months before your plan was going to change to call us in. It's on page 2 of your bill. Yes, I know you get paperless billing, so you get a PDF and an email that you can download and look at. But no one looks through their bill. Everyone looks at the bill. They want to know how much they're going to pay and when it's due, but they don't start going to page 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. They don't want to see what line is using what, how much data they're using. So are they ever going to see that little notation on page 2 of their bill that says, hey, your free plan is almost up. You need to call us so we can help get you prepared for this bill? No. So they're they're like shocked when they see their bill $789 with taxes, fees, and surcharges on top of rate charges, on top of device charges, on top of insurance. So then an account services rep has to spend like an hour or two taking off things off their bill just to try to bring their bill to a more manageable point. Otherwise, they want their account and they're going to go. And one thing that scared reps do, which I think is stupid, is when they ask for the account, they're like, "Oh, your account number's on your bill." You guys know it's not. The last 3 digits of your account number is on your bill, but not the whole 9 digits. And I will tell anybody right now, the fastest way to get your account number without having to deal with all that talk of trying to save you, tell them that your accountant needs the account number. Simple. And no matter what, stick to that. If they're like, "Oh, you're looking to port out?" No, I'm not. Just my accountant needs my account number. He's going to be paying all my bills. Because they don't know if you own a business, if you're a millionaire, billionaire or not. I mean, they could, based on what your credit is, if they actually dig to look that up. But finance would know more about that than actually account services will. But yeah, to say that your accountant needs it. Your accountant needs it because they're handling all your bills. They're paying all your bills. I left Sprint years ago. No, they're charging crazy charges. Yeah, under Dan Hess, I know that double and triple billing was happening a lot. I know that because I had Sprint, and just for one line, normally I was paying like $68.71. That's with taxes, fees, and surcharges on top of it. And then one day my bill came in and it was like $300 or something. And yeah, so you also got to be, you also got to think too of what like care reps do, because like say you did get like the free plan on Sprint, not the free plan, but you got like the promotion for 1 year free. If you call in to add a feature, say like you're like, "Oh, my buddy on Sprint's got Hulu, I want to add Hulu." Okay, so the rep tries to add Hulu, however, it contradicts the current promotional plan you're on. If you add Hulu, it's going to force you onto the unlimited freedom plan that allows Hulu, which means it's a plan change. Some reps have the audacity to just tell you, "Okay, I'll add Hulu." They'll go ahead, they'll submit yes to confirming a price plan change. Then they will select the unlimited freedom price plan that comes with Hulu. And then they will go ahead and set it for immediate so you can use Hulu, right? That becomes a big problem because then the customer's plan change. Their next bill is going to be prorated. They're going to be charged for X amount of days of the remaining of their bill cycle on their new plan, plus 1 month in advance. You got 5 lines on the unlimited freedom, 65, 45, 35, 35, 35. Let's say you deduce that by 16 days, and that's what the amount that you should pay for those 16 days, and then add that on top, the full set amount. Your bill's going to skyrocket. And obviously you lost your promotion for the free year, because when you call in and you're like, "Hey, they changed that without telling me," once that promo is taken off, it is nearly impossible for Sprint to put it back on. I think one of the workarounds that we did when someone who lost that 1 year promotion, what we had to do was we had to literally go in. So I had to set a reminder on my computer on this specific date to go in and credit the service charges every month until the actual end date of their promotion for the 1 year free service. Crazy. That's like extra work for me to do. Like, not only am I handling current business, but then I get a reminder, "Hey, you got to credit them, $195. And giving credit sucks because I'm only at a max amount, $10 to give to a customer. My team lead's only allowed to give $25. So anything higher than that, we have to go through the operations manager and then through the Sprint liaison, get the approval from Sprint corporate, and then apply the credit. So basically, if I'm going to apply a $195 credit every month for our screw up, I have to begin applying that credit like 5 days before the bill generates. So that way the credit goes in. Crazy. Or I mean, Metro is MVNO, right? It's under Sprint. I really wouldn't compare Metro to Sprint. I would compare T-Mobile to Sprint. I would compare Metro to Boost Mobile. But even an interesting thing, MVNOs have their limitations. They do. So people got to kind of remember that too. Like if you're on postpaid and you're thinking about going to prepaid, you also got to think about what sacrifices you're going to make to save money, and how much money are you really going to save for those sacrifices? You know, because like even though Metro is under T-Mobile, they don't have all the benefits that a T-Mobile postpaid customer will have. Same as, you know, Sprint. Boost Mobile customers don't have all the benefits that Sprint customers postpaid have. So, but that's why it's called prepaid. Like they're never gonna make their prepaid be more enticing than their postpaid. Having you on postpaid is more revenue for them, right? You know, you being leasing a flagship phone like the iPhone 11 or the Galaxy Note 10 or the OnePlus 7T Pro McLaren, right? They can put you on a installment payment or leasing payment on that, get you on all these different things. T-Mobile Tuesday, free stuff, you know, here's a burger. And like, I know like there's a lot of people who love T-Mobile, and I get that, like, you know, you love your carrier, right? But you can't deny when they're screwing up nationwide. The goal here is to have a company that can cover you from end to end, north to south, east to west. That's the goal in mind of what they're trying to build network-wise, connection-wise. And when you say you're going to do something and you advertise it, you boast about it, you're pretty cocky about it, and then you flip that switch, and then certain markets are getting decent speeds, other markets are getting terrible speeds. Like, that's bad. Gotta call a spade, right? That's really bad. But nobody's like hating T-Mobile personally. I know Carlos calls it skunk mobile or whatever the skunk name they provided to it. But the only reason, and I'll tell you guys right now, the only reason why Carlos feels that way towards them is because he has reached out trying to show them like, hey, things is wrong with this, and they've blocked him. Sneed has tried to reach out to them, and they've blocked him. When you have a company that will block you because you are honestly trying to say, hey, I know you guys are happy about your launch of this particular thing, but it's not doing good in this market. It's not doing good in this area. You guys really need to get there quickly and figure out what's going on. You know, Sneed has said some very, you know, interesting things that is a valid point. One of the valid points is that, you know, if the merger don't if the merger does go through, who does T-Mobile get as growth after that? Because that's majority of the people going into T-Mobile is from Sprint, right? They're getting a few from Verizon, a few from AT&T, but it's mostly Sprint. So, are they going to launch Dish as the fourth carrier and then try to steal Dish's customers? You know, Sprint has been good at times. I will admit that. And yes, recently they have gotten better with their connectivity. I've noticed great speeds. I've noticed that my Google Fi account firmly connects to Sprint more than T-Mobile nowadays. It's just sad. All right, Tito, good to see you and hear what you have to say about Sprint. All right, Isaac, I appreciate you stopping in on this weekend. I know y'all got to enjoy your weekend. People got to do a lot of things before the work week comes back Tuesday, since Monday's Martin Luther King Day. So, but yeah, I mean, when you go back to the old days of Sprint, I'm talking about when they had that red icon and silver or whatever. They were more focused on home phone connectivity and stuff like that. And when they started getting into the cell phone game and whatnot, they were okay then. They just had some very bad practices, very bad business models that they've created and followed. They built a monster that tore them from the inside out and from the outside in. They literally did that. But that's the analogy I would give for Sprint. Besides the Titanic analogy, they were basically bitten by a cobra. They were digested from the inside out while being swallowed head first from the cobra. And let's call the cobra T-Mobile. But again, T-Mobile's got to get their stuff together. I personally feel like that being loyal to a carrier brand is not the best way for anyone to look at it. You can like the service you're with. You can tout it to everybody. I love T-Mobile. T-Mobile has given me the best service. You know, it's like when I was like really heavy into Boost Mobile, Sprint, not Boost Mobile, like not Sprint, but Boost Mobile, Virgin Mobile, Metro, Cricket. You know, in the MVNO game, right? And people will be like, Boost Mobile sucks. I go Metro until anyone go Metro. And I used to tell them like, hey, you know, that's you. And Metro works great in your area. But what if someone has an area where Metro completely sucks? You're gonna validate them going to Metro and having shitty service? Like, come on now. That's the thing I always tell people. Like, it's based on market areas, on like where a carrier does good and where it's not going to do good. They don't blanket the country 100% from north to south, east to west with the exact same coverage. You're not going to, like, say you have Verizon and you pull 100 and let's say you pull 300 megabits down. You know, you go to New York, you go to Florida, you do the same thing. You get to the Midwest, you're not going to get 300 megabits down. It might be 86 megabits. It might be 150 megabits, right? It varies. It doesn't stay the same everywhere you go. So people got to kind of like remember that. What works good for you works good for you. I'm with Cricket Wireless and getting full service right now. That's cool. Why were you? Never mind. But are you considering still going to T-Mobile? If T-Mobile absorbs Sprint, it's hard to talk about coverage because everyone has a different experience. Exactly, that is true. That's a very, very true point. Sneed, you should definitely invite Serrano. He's in the chat. C Butler, invite him into one of your live streams and go live with him one day. That'd be cool to see. I'm like trying to get everybody connected. Like I said in the beginning of this live stream, I'm gonna further conversate with Sneed, and I'm trying to get him to 10,000. So I would really appreciate the help if people would just like share his live streams on Twitter, share his videos on Twitter, hashtag the crap out of it, and just completely blow him up on Twitter for people to find his videos, get to his channel, and subscribe. I really do feel like that, Sneed needs to be at 10,000 by March of this year. Definitely. We gotta get Carlos to 1,000 subscribers. That's one thing also that I want to try and help on do. Like, I don't know. I make videos on YouTube. I live stream every once in a while, but I like helping other content creators move up in the chain. You got tired of cricket? Yeah, it happens, But I mean, if you are getting good connection, like really good connection, I don't really see a reason why you should jump. I mean, not telling you not to do it. That's just me. In my house, my device that I have visible on, Sneed is Bank of Knowledge. Yeah, dude, join. You know what? Sneed is cool, bro. If you want to join him on his live stream, just let him know. Just hit him up on Twitter, and then he will send you a link to join him. You don't even need a computer to go on StreamYard. If he's the one that's setting up the live stream, you can use your mobile device. You just have to use the Chrome browser to be able to open the link and then live stream with him. Definitely, it's fun. I mean, Pete, awesome dude. It's very funny too at times, so you'll have a blast. I know Altered Tech was on there a few times. Technoid was on there. Carlos is on there lately, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. And the Sneedles are awesome. They're awesome people. So yeah. So yeah, I'll say to anybody, if anyone asks me if I support the absorption that T-Mobile absorbs Sprint, I'm definitely for it. Sprint has lost its reputation, right? If someone lied to you and repeatedly lied to you and they lost your trust, right? Would you agree with me if I said that it's really hard to earn someone's trust back? Like, it takes little steps, little by little. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to earn someone's trust back that you have been dishonest to. And that's where Sprint sits. So all these, politicians, these people involved with the blockage and everything, we're talking about why can't Sprint bounce back like T-Mobile did? Well, because Sprint has been very dishonest. Dishonest with, their price plans, dishonest store reps, dishonest phone sales reps, dishonest agents. Like, this was the reason that I wanted to be a trainer for that call center, because like the call center is contracted to handle Sprint's business, but they are not technically Sprint. They were actually Converges before Converges was bought out by Concentrix. So the call center technically is not Sprint direct. But you had agents there who were very timid, and I wanted to become a trainer because one of the things that I felt like they didn't emphasize on was bravery. Understanding that you're going to have ticked off customers who are going to yell at you, but to relax and be okay because they can't reach over the phone and slap you, you know? I mean, yeah, they're gonna say some things that hurts. You know, I had a woman on the phone one time. She was so upset, and I had to take over the call because the agent was crying. Took over the call. The lady was very rude, very racial, said some very racist things to me, and I just ate each bullet like as if I was eating gummy bears. And then told the lady what she's asking for was just, it just couldn't happen. It's not something that we can do. And what she wanted was 5 free phones. 5 free phones because she had no connection for 2 days. Not happening. Okay, I'll credit you the 2 days that you didn't have service and take that off your bill. I ain't gonna give you 5 free phones. And the phones that she wanted were the new iPhone, because at the time the iPhone 7s just came out. That's what she wanted. She wanted 5 of them. Crazy. Crazy. You know. Yeah. Agents ill-trained, not knowledgeable, no support. No support from Sprint. If you come across a customer that you truly know is deserving of all the help that you can provide them, and you need Sprint Corporate's help to back you, don't expect it. Don't expect it at all. Not happening. I'll eat the gummy bears. Yeah. You know, some people have a crazy point of view on what they feel like that they're deserving of, and you gotta kind of like balance it to something that they'll be okay with, and something that you know Sprint Corporation will be okay with. That's the reality of it. So I mean, you know, one of the biggest reasons that I decided to leave Sprint was for that reason. No support, no special, you know, arrangements for long-term customers who have been with Sprint since 1998. And yes, I've seen accounts that have been there since 1998. That is a long freaking time. 21 years at this point. Crazy. But like I said, I handed out credits that I felt that customers were entitled to, that they were absolutely correct, their bill was totally screwed up and they should have been. And yes, I didn't follow protocol because, you know what, like, why would I have to go up the chain of command? It's right there in black and white on their bill. We owe them, we charge them incorrectly. Get the credit. So yeah, I would authorize a huge credit, and I would get in trouble for that. But like, yeah, I just couldn't stand them. I couldn't stand that they didn't have anything in practice for loyalty. For those who don't know, with Sprint, they don't have the agents configure credits, discounts, deals, or anything like that. There is an automated system. I think it's called NBA, because I know they used to reference the NBA Sports League to this, but they would always ask, like, well, what's an NBA? I forgot what the acronym stood for. But it's a overlay system on top of the core system that handles the customer's account. This thing pretty much shows you what you what kind of discounts, credits, stuff like that you need. 1 second. What do you need? Give me a moment to finish the live stream, and then I'll make breakfast for all of us, okay? All right, close the door. My daughter woke up. It's like 11:43. They were up playing freaking, what is it? Not Fortnite, not Minecraft, what's it? Roblox. They were playing Roblox. All of them. My son, to my oldest daughter, to my oldest son, they were all playing Roblox last night. I heard them too. I felt like cutting them a break. Normally, when there's no school, their bedtime is like 10:45. They ended up staying up till like 2 a.m. I shouldn't let them do that, but I was like, last night they were having so much fun, and I can see the joy on them. I'm just like, I'll let them slide for one night. So they're now up, so I'm going to be making breakfast here soon. But, yeah. So NBA is what they use, okay? So if you ever hear like a retention rep, you know, basically, you know, talking to another rep in line, this is what they offer them in NBA. They're talking about the automated system that, you know, basically it has an algorithm that runs through the core account info and then provides what type of discounts and services they're allowed to get. Because, you know, you could be offered like $100 bill credit. And then this is another thing too. I don't know if they still do this way, but when I was there, they used to offer $100 bill credit, but the way it would go was it would be in increments of $10. So $10 for 10 months, $100 credit. And a lot of reps would fail to mention that to the customer. They'll just tell the customer the good part. You're going to get a $100 bill credit just for upgrading. So then the customer's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll upgrade. Send me to the sales department. And then they patch them through the sales department. You know, and they're supposed to warm transfer. Anytime you go from account services to sales, it's supposed to be a warm transfer, which means that the rep has to be on the phone. They have to introduce the customer to the sales rep, what the customer wants, is looking to upgrade to. This is the offers that was given in NBA. You've already selected it for the customer. So take over the call, get the customer upgraded. And so then the customer would upgrade, and then they would think, I'm going to get a $100 bill credit. And then they look at their bill, and they see that they got the new price of their phone bill, their service charge bill, taxes, fees, and surcharges, and then only a $10 credit because the $90 is going to come over the next 9 months. As I'm saying, bad business practices, bad training, bad. That's what really killed Sprint. And the Unlimited Freedom Plan, the 10 different freaking configurations in total. I told you guys about the 3 that was the 5 lines for 100 promo, but they had 10 different ones. The Unlimited Freedom 55 plus, the Unlimited Freedom 60 plus, the Unlimited Freedom Normal, the Unlimited Freedom Normal with Hulu, the Unlimited Freedom Normal with Hulu and Tidal, the Unlimited Freedom yada yada yada. There were so many of them. I mean, when I looked at price plan codes, there was buku on a list. And they all said unlimited freedom. And then you had the older plans. Like, you know, the 1,000 shared, 3,000 shared. They even had a Framly. I don't know if you guys remember Framly. God, that was a freaking nightmare. That's what I'm saying. Like, Sprint doesn't know what they're doing with their price plans. That was one of the things that they hurt them. Framly really hurt them. Framly is actually being used on Visible currently right now. It was the ability to get discounts by linking up accounts that were not related to each other, right? So if I had an account that had 5 lines and you had an account that has 5 lines, if I gave you my connection code, we would get savings because we're Sprint customers. Family and friends. You know what sucked is if you got tired of Sprint and you're like, come on, family, I'm taking my 5 lines and we're going to Verizon. And you guys port out to Verizon. And then the next month I get my bill jacked up because all the savings I was getting for you being connected to my family account is gone. I can't do nothing about it. I can't find you if you live in Delaware and I live in Phoenix and knock on your door and say, hey, jerk, you just made my bill this much for leaving. Like, you can't do that. So while Framly did seem like kind of a good idea, there was more harm than good. I think that they have a bunch of people that sit around a desk at Sprint Corporate. There's Banana, there's Muffins, and stuff like that. And they just sit there and they scratch their head and they're like, what sounds good? How about a friends and family plan where you can get discounts just by connecting your Sprint accounts together? That sounds good. Start it. But they don't see the repercussions and the backlash that customers are going to get. And customers get pissed off. And what do we do to fix that customer's issues? We offer them a new price plan that can try to lower their bill down. I mean, I have come up with some unorthodox ways. One way I thought was pretty interesting that I saved a customer a ton of money on their bills, and I noticed they didn't use a lot. They didn't use a lot of data. So I had to try and get Sprint Corporation to put that family plan back on a legacy plan, because being on that legacy plan plus the devices that they're leasing would make their bill dramatically lower than if they were on the Unlimited Freedom plan. Their plan structure sucks. Their business etiquette really bad. They have untrained frontline soldiers. I guess the best analogy that I would say is, think of an army. You have a weak general, his council is stupid, he doesn't have the best artillery, and he's got frontline soldiers with no guns. That's Sprint in a nutshell. That's them. They look like a massive army, they look like they can contend and fight, but they don't have the tools. That's them. I hate to say that, you know, because I would like there to be options. I just know that Sprint can't come back from this. They just can't. You leave them alone in the water, and the rest of the sharks are going to start feasting on them until there's nothing left. There's nothing left. I mean, if they don't approve the absorption where Sprint assets move over to T-Mobile, how are you going to stop customers from porting out? You guys can ask Sneed. He knows how high their churn rate is. Their churn rate is astronomically huge for a company. It's huge. The truth is the truth, yeah. It's astronomically huge. Just it's like it's like a revolving door. They bring one customer in and 5 customers have walked out. They haven't done nothing to plug up the exit. It's just a revolving door. Am I going to get the Pixel 4? I don't think so. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to buy an iPhone 10. I'm gonna buy 2 iPhone 10s because I know my lady likes the newer design of the iPhones. Unless Carlos actually sells me the iPhone 10s, then I'll just buy the iPhone 10s off of him and then buy her an iPhone 10s. But yeah, I'm just gonna get those. My Pixel 3, I generally love the phone. I could buy a Pixel 4, but there's too many problems going on with it that I'm seeing that I just don't want to deal with. I'm not gonna spend that kind of money on a phone that I'm gonna have to find workarounds or headaches with, you know. Maybe the Pixel 4a, I might buy that, or the Pixel 5. I may wait. You know, generally I'm at a stage right now in my life where it's like I don't feel like I need to have the next newest phone right away. You know, I think you know, because I generally love being able to take multiple selfies, like, you know, like a wider selfie range with the wide angle on the front of the Pixel 3. I generally love that feature. You know, taking a trip out to where is it? I forgot where I went. It was in California. The name is right there. I just can't. It's like a fog. I can't really remember where I went. Where the heck did I go? Not San Bernardino. Hold on. Crazy. I gotta look back. This is what happens with old age, man. I'm starting to forget a lot of things. And it wasn't even that long ago, but it was like a celebration of life for my friend. But Long Beach? There we go. Probably a really well-known place, and I couldn't even remember that. But yeah, I went to Long Beach, California, and the Pixel 3 came in handy for like a lot of photos that I took. One of the funniest things that we did was, because my friend that passed away in December, we had a photo when he used to come to my house and hang out on the weekends, and we were all hanging out together. They were having drinks, and we were just laughing and making jokes. And so we decided to take my selfie stick, and we all huddled up together in a group. And this is when I had like the Stylo 4, and we took a selfie. And what we did was at the beach, we recreated that exact scene. And what made it so much better to do that was with my Pixel 3 and the wide angle selfie cam, because you do have 2 camera sensors on top. And yeah, so I don't know. Do I like the Pixel 2? Yeah, I actually do. The Pixel 2, the regular size, not the Pixel 2 XL. I mean, most of the Pixel 2 XLs that I've found out here that people are selling have screen burn-in, so they have that issue. But with the Pixel, you know, with the Pixels, it's kind of an up and down with them, because while I do like them, I do know that they've had some manufacturing issues. Like I gave my Pixel XL to my eldest son, so he has that phone because he skates and he loves to take pictures, right? So he can utilize Google's still photography abilities with it, because we know Pixels are good at taking still photos. Videos is not that. It's not on par with the iPhone. I've seen the iPhone's, you know, video camera, and work with 60 frames per second, stuff like that. It looks really, really smooth. And the Pixels don't have that yet. So hopefully with the Pixel 5s, they'll focus on the video and bring that up to par. Keystone Tech, yo, what's up? What's going on? The manager at Sprint had a look of defeat in his eyes. But yeah, so the Pixel 1 had the audio issue, and, you know, sad that I couldn't get it repaired when Google was actually doing free repairs through Ubreak iFix, because I have the what was it, the 128 gigabyte model of the original Pixel, and I could have got that replaced. But now if I want it replaced, I have to pay like $380 just to get the 128 variant motherboard placed into the phone. If I downgrade to 32 gigs, it would be $320. That's BS. I'm not gonna do that. I hope, fingers crossed, new Stylo comes better this year. I hope LG listens to its customers, because a lot of the customers, like, I'm still a fan of the Stylo. It's just over the years it's disappointed where it maintained the 400 series processor chip inside of them. so therefore it yielded not a very good as far as user experience. It didn't do so well. I mean, there's so much jank, so much things happening, and you're looking at a device that's like newer, and you're expecting it to run faster. Most people are saying that they want, at least a style to have the 600 series. I would hope that they would put the newer 700 series in it. What was it, the Snapdragon 765? I'm gonna put that in the Stylo 5. It needs to become the V60. I think LG will continue to have that V series separated. But yeah, it would be cool if it was that. Oh, 1 second. I'll be right back. 1 second. But then again, like if it became the V series, it would literally become flagship. And I think the Stylo has always been known to being like budget mid range. And I mean that's what LG got right there. Like when the Note became popular for Samsung, LG's like, if we made a mid range budget with a stylus, people who couldn't afford the Note will definitely opt for the Stylo, and they did. A lot of people. I remember some of my biggest videos was the LG G Stylo, the Stylo 2 after that, the Stylo 3. The Stylo 4, those videos got massive views. When I rooted the LG G Stylo on Boost Mobile, I mean, it was me and I forgot what his username is now. But another friend of mine here on YouTube who does live stream gaming, he actually was working with me on it, on like how to basically root the LG G Stylo using ADB and all that stuff, using command prompts to get it rooted, because basically it had the bootloader locked and there was no way bypassing that. Have you tried or heard of T-Mobile, no, Reverie Plus? No, I heard of it. I haven't used it. I haven't really bought any smartphones in a long time. You pretty much looked through my channel, and the last unboxing I did was like a while ago. What I'm saying is it needs to become a flagship specs. Yeah, but I mean, and that's like I totally get what you're saying with it getting flagship specs, but that's the thing. If it gets flagship specs, it's going to yield flagship price. There's not a company that's going to put that type of specifications like into, their hardware, but then charge it at a budget mid-range price. That's the thing with the Stylo. It's always been that. It's always been mid-range budget. So, got to keep it within that guidelines to keep that price tag down. I mean, if you bought all 5 series of the Stylo series from LG, and they were all roughly in the range of 300 and under, would you get a little weirded out when the next version that came out, the Stylo 6, was flagship specs? So say, it had all the latest processing, say it had like 6 gigs of RAM or even 8 gigs of RAM, yielded a better camera sensor, better software for it, and then the price tag on it was $999. Would you buy it? Coming from the Stylo 5, would you upgrade to it? I'm pretty sure like people say yeah for the specs, but then once it comes reality, then people will be like, nah, I'm staying with my Stylo 5. So I don't know about it. If it did, then I mean, what they could do is keep the Stylo as what it is, budget mid-range, add a stylus to the V series. There you go. Because the V series is, LG's secondary flagship line, right? I just think prices on phones today got to come down. That's my standpoint. Prices on phones today have got to come down. They're just getting astronomically huge and out of control. And then the justification behind the pricing is just insane to me. I don't understand it. Why explain to me that your phone should cost $1,500 for folding technology? Because it took your guys hours to sit in the room to think of a way to fold that screen and try to hide some things that you want to make it as smooth as possible. It's just the craziest thing. I don't understand. I have it. It's pretty good for a mid-range phone. It's got a 1080p 6.2-inch display, 403 pixels per inch, 4 gigs of RAM, 636 Snapdragon with 64 gigs of internal storage. Great. That sounds good. That sounds pretty decent, I'd say. I haven't heard too much about the 636 chip, but hey, You're vaping Jam Monster. I'm vaping Swamp Monster. I get my e-juice from a company called Red Star Vapor. So it's like a, I would say like a mixture, like a mixed fruit, but watermelon is like the core flavor of it. It's actually pretty good. I have another one here called Unicorn Dream. This one's strawberry and custard. Of course, I'm almost out of it. You can see I have like a little bit of drip left in it. I haven't used my RDA tank in a while. Been basically using just this Captain tank here. I don't know. I get tired of having to carry the bottle with me everywhere I go and then popping the cap off and dripping it on top of the cotton. And so, I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to an RDA. Because I know I'm going to buy a new mod this coming February, March. I'll have a new mod. Of course, I'm not going to talk about vaping on YouTube all too much because they're pretty, you know, like, oh, he's talking about vaping products. It's so bad. And yeah, because if I got into the whole thing about vaping, literally, I don't know what YouTube would do to my channel. Maybe I'll talk about vaping on Periscope because I do stream on Twitter. So yeah, if you follow me on Periscope, then that'd be cool. If you follow me on Twitter, then you should be able to find me on Periscope. I already went live on there today. This was supposed to be just a video I was going to upload, but I decided to do a live stream. I'm going to open it up AMA right now. It's asking me anything. Whatever you guys want or whatever you guys want to talk about here. I got like 5 minutes left before I reach my goal of the live stream, which is an hour long. Then I'm going to go eat breakfast with the kiddos and get on with my day. I got off Vero, dude. So you don't have to follow me there. I don't use Vero at all. These are my social sites that I use mostly. Pretty active on Twitter. So you'll find me on Twitter. I don't really reply a lot. I read the threads that goes on with Carlos Sneed and Ray and everybody. Sometimes I'll tweet back to it, but not really. Mine's broke. I have not been able to vape. Oh man. That sucks, dude. Sorry. Instagram, I'm on there. I just post photos. I used to go live on there, but not so much. Maybe sometimes on Instagram I will invite someone who follows me to live stream with me. But I post videos on IGTV, so it's like a second area in case YouTube with their new policy says that they don't like me because I'm not bringing them enough money, and they're like, kill Aloha Android, boom, it's gone. Yeah, I put my videos there so you guys can still watch content there. And then yeah, it's Periscope and Twitter. So those are my active social media, so you guys can follow me on those. And yeah, but I try to live stream on YouTube the best that I can. It's just, I don't know, I guess I'm a free-for-all, and yeah, I don't like getting dinged by YouTube, like, oh, he said a bad word, like, boo hoo hoo. We're in a generation today where third graders talk about things that they're not supposed to talk about. Believe me, I know, because I hear it at my kid's school, and I'm just like in shock, like, dude, you even know what that is? I'm not gonna say it because it's inappropriate, but you guys are probably getting the point. Munching on carpets, basically, is what they talk about. Now I'm going other Instagram. I can follow you there. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. Hopefully one day, because I'm trying to build my Instagram account to become an influencer. That's a goal of mine. I'm trying to get my Twitter account up, continuing to grow here on YouTube, but I also want to see my friends grow and take off and, hit it big, and kind of like, that's the goal, is like finding other content creators and like help push them into that realm where they make a huge impact in this pool of the tech community. Because right now there are some people in the tech community, I ain't trying to talk shit, I ain't trying to be mean, but I'm just saying that they've got it wrong. They've got more of a personal interest and less of bringing a value to those people who are watching, and they know who they are. And it's pretty sad that they're only in it for themselves, and it's like it floods the market. It floods not the market, but the community of getting real valuable information that will help you. That's what YouTube has always been for me. It's always been making videos that give information that will help people. It's not really, for me, it's not really about the subscriber count. I'm not trying to get up there to 1 million. That's not, a goal. If I hit it in my lifetime before I die, great. You know, 'cause I actually thought about it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm 37. I'm gonna be 38 this year. I'm getting older. You know, kids are probably gonna know more than me when it comes to talking about technology. But I asked myself, do I see myself doing this 10 years from now? And the answer is yes. Yes, I'm gonna keep doing this 10 years from now. My beard goes completely white, and I have completely white hair. If like my skin starts to build wrinkles, so you can actually tell that I'm like old. As, like some people say, I don't look 38 years old. I don't know. Um, I've only been carded once trying to buy liquor, so and that was it. Um, but yeah, I can see myself doing this for a while, and I'm gonna keep talking about the news that's out there. I'm gonna keep sharing my experiences with devices that I have in hand. Um, you know, I know like a lot of people have conveyed to me and expressed like they haven't watched my videos in a long time because I haven't posted like a Boost mobile phone review or unboxing or just, you know, and I can't do that. You know, I've ever explained in a past video, past live stream, why I can't do that anymore, why I am doing this. But you know, it's not just I'm resorting to this because I have to. Like I don't have the resources to grab all these phones to review. But I like talking about news that's going on out there. I like being able to give info that people can utilize or be aware of or understand that changes are going to happen, so that way they're not kicked in the nuts and left shocked when a change happens. That's why I do this. That's why I talk about news and things like that. You'll be 33 this year? Wow, man. Right on, dude. You are 5 years younger than me. My lady will be 34 this year. She is 4 years younger than me. Yep, so she'll be 34. She's always complaining. She's like, I'm getting old. I'm looking at her like, you're not even crossing the gate with the big 4-0 yet. Like, I can see that gate in sight. When I hit that, everyone is going to be calling me Over the Hill. Maybe I'll change the channel name for good when I hit 40 and call it Over the Hill Tech. The old guy who talks about tech. Maybe that'll be me. I don't know. You guys tell me. I know this day in YouTube, and I made those last 3 videos, the perspective of a YouTuber. The whole point of that was just to like show people like what, you know, a content creator will go through, big or small, and what a smaller content creator goes through. Like I go through a lot. I don't know how everyone else is doing it, how they skyrocketed at 50,000 subscribers. Like they say things like pay attention to your analytics, whatever video you did that's doing good, keep making videos on that. But that's like, that sounds so weird. Like if Google Fi videos are doing good on my channel, why am I going to keep regurgitating videos of Google Fi? It just sounds redundant. Jason, what's up, man? What's good? It just sounds redundant to keep repeating, you know, the same type of stuff on a video. I mean, I've done it, and I feel weird doing it and repeating it. So, I don't know. I'll tell you guys this much now. If you guys ask me, I have not ever utilized YouTube to promote my videos for a fee. In other words, I do know that through YouTube Studios, and you know, I studied that. They have these little courses on YouTube Studios that content creators can watch and go along with to kind of understand how they can help their channel. You can watch guys like Roberto Blake, who kind of like gives you insight on how to make your videos better so you can retain viewers and grow your channel. And one of the things I see there is like you can pay a fee to YouTube and they will promote your video to get you exposed more, so more people in this giant digital world can find your videos and then subscribe to you. I've never done that. I think I would say that I've taken the lane that has the most thick mud, so it's always been a slow thing. But I tell a lot of people, like, your subscriber count, don't really pay attention to it, as it don't make it validate you on YouTube. I mean, you do have to get to a certain threshold point to get certain things unlocked. Like if we get Sneed to 10,000 subscribers, I know one of the things that he'll be able to get is stories. So if he wants to quickly update us, he doesn't have to always keep trying to make a video, edit, and throw it up. If he wants to get the info out quickly, he can just utilize stories, which is like Snapchat, those quick little 10-second video clips. He can utilize that, but he has to hit 10,000 subscribers to do that. And I know he can utilize that and make it work for him. So that's why I'm trying to like tell people like, hey, let's help get Sneed to 10,000 subscribers. You know, I want Carlos to become a partner, so I want to help him get to what he needs as far as what YouTube will look at to say, hey, we'll make you a YouTube partner, and you can monetize your videos. So I want to help them get to that point. But generally, subscriber count doesn't mean squat. It means nothing. I see many smaller YouTubers doing big things. Yeah, exactly. Jason said it right. Exactly. That's how it is. Like, when people are like, oh, snap, you're at 10,000 subscribers, I look at them and scratch my head like, bro, have you seen my videos lately? Like, if you go back to like 2017, 2016, I was pulling like what? Anywhere between 100 to like 5,000 views. Right now, as of lately, because I took that hiatus where I told people I was kind of burnt out and I left YouTube and would just make like small videos here and there, but was mostly focused on other things. And then I come back and now my videos may maybe get to 1,000, but most of them are under 100, a little bit above 100, but it doesn't, I don't see the same numbers that I've seen before. Fact, straight up. Yeah, it's not a, your view count is what counts. That's why I try to make it apparent in that video. Like, for those people who are like, yo, how do you get on Team Pixel? And I told them, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like how you get on Team Pixel because, one, they have to seek you out. But two, you have to have the views. They're not going to bring you into Team Pixel and hook you up with a big G logo box that comes with a pixel, a case, you know, a stress ball, a bouncy ball, and a Frisbee, and a t-shirt, and, you know, freaking night sight bionicle glasses. They're not going to give that to you if your video plays are only 60 views, 50 views. That's how I, you know, feel about why I've never been considered for Team Pixel. I'm not going to rant, rave, and bitch about it, but I know that it makes sense. They're not going to give me something to review on that I'm not going to be able to at least get them 100 customers. That's the point behind it. All these things that people get mad at certain content creators when they're given like a phone to review from a company for free. You got to understand, though, it's come stress behind it. You got to have that view count. If you don't have that view count, they ain't going to work with you. They ain't making money off of it. You know, so it's not that easy of a thing. And that's what a lot of people also got to remember. New content creators coming in. If you're going to try and have a business relation with companies, you got to have that view count. Otherwise, that company's not going to take a chance. There are some companies that will. Like, I've had small companies like Trev Labs send me out, you know, headphones to review. Or Truly Wireless earbuds. I did reviews on that. They gave me a promo code to give to people that viewed. What sucked is that they came at me at a time where I wasn't, and I'm still in that boat, but I'm not getting the views that I used to get. So people cannot use that promo code to get like 10% off their purchase. Totally sucks. But yeah, being a content creator is not that easy. Making videos that people are going to want to watch is not that easy. I know from my analytics, people watch like 2 minutes of my video and then they click off, right? And that's why I get comments later asking questions about the topic where I've answered it in the video because they haven't watched the video all the way through. But we live in this day and age where ADHD is normalcies. You know, people just, they want information quick. But I can't provide information and pack it into 2 minutes. Providing products to creators is simply just another promotional tool for companies getting in front as many eyes as possible. Yes, exactly. And it's also, it saves the company money because you figure if you give a phone to a YouTuber who has like 1 million subscribers, that's 100,000 views guaranteed to see that phone, that product, and see how it works, how it functions, right? Compared to them having to spend $88,000 on building an ad campaign to run on cable access TV for like 15 seconds, right? It's free promotion. They give the phone out, that's your payment. Exactly. And that's why I made that mini series, you know, perspective of a content creator / YouTuber, is because I get questions like that. I get people who ask me, yo, how'd you get the new Mobile G3 Plus? Well, I mean, I tweeted at them, direct tweet message, and said, hey, I would love the opportunity to check out your phone. And the person was cool enough to actually take me on. And at that time when I got the G3 Plus, I was only getting anywhere between 100 to 300 views per video. Right now, I'm sitting below that. I'm okay with it. I'm not dying. I'm not going to cry and beg anyone to view my videos. My videos are there for people to help. It's kind of like an archive. If you ever have a question and you type it into Google search because you want it explained or want something seen, you'll probably run into my video and then you'll watch it then. But for guys like Sneed, I'll say we need them in that limelight. Not so they can become famous, but we need them in there so that way they can bring the information that needs to be brought. Because there are content creators that are just basically FOS. and they're in there for themselves, and they're influencing others to think that way, and that's totally wrong. I'm not going to call them out. I'm not about YouTube drama, but I call it as it is. A spade's a spade. So we need guys like that in there, you know. Anyways, guys, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go eat. I really appreciate all you guys from coming in here and hanging out with me, interacting with me, and talking. Really appreciate that. And yeah, you guys go about your day and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I've already taken up about an hour of your time. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. For those who watched the replay, thank you so much for watching it. Even if you skim through it to like different parts, that's cool. And if you guys want to follow me on social media, Twitter, Aloha_Android. And yeah, TSB, thanks so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. But yeah, that's my Twitter handle. And you guys find me on Periscope and on Instagram. Jason, have a great too as well. Oscar, have a great day. Keystone Tech, have a great day. Serrano, have a great day too. Jones, Vaughn, 89, you have a great weekend as well. Sneed, have a great weekend. Thanks for coming in. Isaac, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And I hope to see you guys on my other social media platforms to interact with you guys through it daily. All right. Thanks for being my friends as well. As always, aloha.